6.
We might already be
Five,
live because this happened last time.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, here
keep
I'm
your live
on
faces on.
YouTube. Let me
YouTube.
YouTube.
Utes tubes.
YouTubes.
Let me.
What if that was our stream on like
redirecting
Sunday?
to YouTube. What's
YouTube.
that?
If our stream on Sunday was just us repeatedly saying Utes.
We are live now.
Oh, we are live now.
Yeah.
We're live now.
Oh. See, how do I
All right. Who's sharing the link?
I can on Twitter.
Boom.
Oh, Gavin.
I don't have access to the social media because
I'll do the Facebook.
Aha, here it is. Night 3.
Where'd you put that link, baby?
It's in the chat.
Yeah.
I mean, like the text.
The text thread. Text thread.
Hi, Mickey.
The text thread. Oh, okay.
I'm lost again. Oh, this time Vince is there.
There it is.
Oh.
What kind of mute button on this?
You just have to turn it down.
Turn it down.
Jesus. Hi, Joe. Hi, Addie. Hi, Christian. Hi, Sea Lion. Hello, Jellyman. Hello, Just Timo. Guten Abend. A horse in a hospital. Hello. Hi, Jose. Hi, Andrew. Hello, Andrew.
A, B, C, D, F, G.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
A, B, C, D, F, G.
Hi, Matthew Benedict. Time for some sick Gavin beats.
Play the beat.
Got him good, Gavin. Got him good.
Woo.
Oh man, what is happening?
Oh, hey, there's the chat. Hey. How's everybody doing out there in their own respective areas?
I'm good.
Hell yeah.
I'm good.
I don't know if you're
No
talking to
complaints?
me or the
I'm
virtual people.
I'm talking to everybody.
Whoa.
Is that,
Yeah.
are we everybody?
In what ways was today different from yesterday for each of you?
I spent a good part of yesterday stripping and reseasoning a cast iron pan, and so now I haven't done that today.
My brain stopped at stripping.
Well,
Got a new job, stripping.
don't I know it?
Check it out.
What to do?
What?
What is that?
Is that a
This-
bone?
Bitter herb.
Oh,
Oh, it's the horseradish.
Yeah, I've been chewing on it.
hell
Oh.
yeah.
Wow.
Never seen anyone eat horseradish. Like an apple.
No, and I'm also surprised that you'd go. Like I feel like you're probably having
Looks
like
so
a
It's
phallic.
very
horrid reaction based on past experience with horseradish.
Yeah.
This is the Passover kind, though.
Is it
Yeah,
mild?
It does look like a dildo.
It's very not mild, but I think you can have more of it than wasabi. I mean, I definitely didn't have wasabi when I had too much wasabi. Just to fill everyone in, on our first Ben Levin group tour in 2011 or 10, we decided at the end of the tour, and to Courtney's credit, she decided not to do this, which was smart. We did a food challenge where we would each eat something we didn't want to eat, but like some people were like a cup of Thousand Island dressing, and like Vince was like, "What did you have?
A gallon of ice cream.
A gallon of ice cream.
Did you throw it?
No, I got like through. I didn't even get close.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I mean, like, we had some people like eat a watermelon really fast. You know, it was the whole idea. The whole thing was dumb, but mine was
I
definitely.
ate 2 pounds of spinach.
There you go.
2 pounds of
Oh,
raw
God.
spinach.
And you're jogging out before anything.
I was so tired of chewing.
Yeah.
His,
And you didn't leave the toilet the next day.
his mouth got tired, but then I had
It wasn't the last time.
I had like ice cream scoops of wasabi. Like, you know how you can get a plastic little like
Yeah.
ketchup cup of wasabi at the store. So that would have definitely not been wasabi. It would have been horseradish. And I had 2 of those really fast, real fast, and my throat closed up. The whole apparatus over here felt like I just couldn't move it. It like was a totally paralyzed fixture in my face. And luckily there was like water on the table. I just poured it on my throat, which like got it to like work again. And I didn't suffocate from that. But you got to be careful when you're repeating mistakes like I am now.
Yeah, just stick to the ghost peppers like everyone else. That's the safe way to go.
Interesting how those peppers don't freeze you up the way that this does. It's a different spice.
A different burn, yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather have to eat a ghost pepper or habanero than eat 2 scoops of wasabi again.
We should like record ourselves playing a song one time.
Oh,
I actually
the
wanted to do
ghost
that in the
pepper
studio for a while, do an improvisation where we all like eat a habanero right
Oh,
before doing
geez.
it.
Oh,
Good.
right.
Well, it's like, did you see that YouTube video of, I think it's the Berlin Phil or
Chili
something?
Yeah.
crab.
Uh, oh yeah, it's great, and they played so well.
They played really
Very,
well.
very impressed.
Yeah.
We, as a band, have quite a lot of experience with very spicy peppers, because a friend of Gavin's brought us bags of homegrown Carolina Reapers and scorpion peppers and ghost peppers a few nights into our stint with Dillinger. And we were, well, at least I was so exhausted because we were chasing buses in our tiny little van on that tour. So we were sleeping very little
Well, it was
and,
the
and
same
still
buses.
felt, what's that?
It was the same buses. We weren't just chasing random buses.
Oh yeah, we're chasing the same buses every night.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I guess really we're
Uh,
chasing one bus technically.
One bus, chasing one bus,
Chasing a
chasing
bus.
one bus.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were very tired. We weren't sleeping very much, and we still felt it necessary to be in the audience every night after we played, and we were the first to 4 bands, because it was the politically correct thing to do, but also because Dillinger is one of the best live bands to ever exist, and it was nice to be inside that energy. So, in order to kind of pump ourselves up after our set every night, we were eating tiny little bits of very spicy pepper, and riding that endorphin rush for the rest of the night, and then inviting friends back to do the same thing into the green room. So it
Drugs.
felt like the most and least rock and roll thing we've ever done. Instead of cocaine and whatever else the rock bands do, we eat tiny bits of pepper to keep ourselves entertained.
Oh,
Here's Jessica.
Hey, Jess.
Jessica!
Yay.
Oh, Jessica Kyan appears.
I'm gonna talk like this for the rest of the stream, just really nice and like it's gonna be like Bentley ASMR.
That's cool.
Hey guys.
Kevin, you taking it
Does our
away?
music make you tingle? Yeah, just take it away, baby. How about so the game that I wanted to play today, my friends, is
Monopoly.
name that bent knee drum part. There are gonna be easy ones, there are gonna be medium ones, and there are gonna be some deep cuts.
Ooh.
As well as like maybe I just might play a part of a song that you wouldn't be able to recognize just from the drum part, like something like
Like Democratic Corral.
yeah, like my part in Democratic Corral or my part in Good Girl or something like that. But how about let's just get perhaps the easiest one out of the way.
Oh,
And
I know what he's gonna play.
do you?
I do too.
I think
Yep.
it's
You can probably see it in the way that my hands are placed right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, it's that song.
One.
Should we guess before you start playing, based on where
Actually,
your
yeah,
hands
for
are?
this one, yeah. What do you think it's gonna be?
Wait,
Way
wait,
too-
Way too long.
Well, now that you're on the cross deck, I think it's Terrorberg.
Yeah, I'm on the cross.
oh,
I thought before you put your hands there, I thought it was gonna be way too long.
Oh no. Oh, actually, you know what? Way too long's probably the most recognized thing. So friends in here and friends in the chat, try and guess this one. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Terrorbird. That was easy. Yeah, easy.
got it.
So, one that will be
Very
easy
metronomic,
for everyone, huh?
Very metronomic. Well
Thank
done,
you.
Gavin.
This one will be easy for all of my fellow band members, but might be a challenge for some of the audience out there, all of our friends out there. See if you can name this one. The ride cymbal was not part of it.
I don't know what that
Yeah, I
is.
don't know what it is.
Nope. No idea.
Wait, really?
No.
We haven't played it in a very long time.
Let me think about it. What album is it from?
Say so. I think.
Oh,
Yes.
I think I know what it is. Is it a commercial song?
Yes.
Yeah!
That and so it looks like Mickey Fitz got it.
You
Looks like
got
Sucker
it,
from the
Mickey?
Box,
Wow.
Mr. James Deneen got it.
Oh, of course,
Nice.
James.
Rocket
You're-
Driver got it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's damn. I thought that was
All
gonna
right,
like
to answer
No, I like
Christian's
3 years.
question, are we in the same band? I just don't think
You
we ever
should-
listened to each other.
Now we should play the reverse game of Gavin guesses the lyrics, and then
Oh.
you'll be asking who's in the band.
Ooh, yeah, no, that's very true. Yeah, we could definitely get to that in a few here.
Now I'm curious what your like real deep cuts are gonna be.
Yeah.
Well, okay, here's one that's probably going to be pretty hard. Here it goes.
Okay.
Oh, that one's easier.
Yeah.
Oh, that was easier?
For me, it was.
Oh.
I mean, if,
Well, I
I'm,
mean-
if I'm right, I think I'm right.
I think-
You won't frown
Yeah.
if
That's what I thought. I thought it
you
might.
have it right.
Let's not give it away. Maybe they can figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Fitz got it.
Got
very
it.
good,
Got
very
it. Got it.
Who? Wait,
Hey,
who
yeah,
thought
that's
that
like
was
a way
boxes?
more. That's like an iconic Gavin drum part.
Yeah.
Or like that part's
thank
like
you.
all about the drums. Like if you miss the drums on that part, you're not listening.
It's been a long time though. I was like, I think that's what it is, but I'm not sure.
Oh wait, it's been a long time. That was a Led Zeppelin joke.
Wow.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's become. I think that was easier for all of us because we've been listening to a bunch of samples from Shiny Eye Babies and the remixes.
That's very true. That's very true. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, here's another one. This is probably a little bit of a deep cut. Or for, this might be challenge. What song was that?
I don't know.
Huh?
Oh yeah, that's easy.
I know that one.
That
Thank
fun
you.
fact, that was the first bent knee drum part that I ever learned. When I had just joined the band, I was given, some of the demos for the first album, and that
Big
was
hint.
the song that oh yeah, it is on the first album, I'll say that. No, it's not Dead Horse. No, it's not Leak Water. Yes,
Yes.
Funeral.
Super.
Nice.
You got it.
Ding, ding,
Well
ding, ding.
done.
Yeah, that was the first song I learned for this band. Okay, I've got another one. Oh, this is I should say this is the solo section of a certain dude. Do you hear those children screaming outside, by the way? Is that being picked up on my mics? It's a little disconcerting. I think they're just playing, but I'll figure it out later. All right. Hang on, I was able to go into this earlier. Shit.
It's like we're in rehearsal again.
Hang on, yeah, this is exactly like rehearsal. I've totally forgotten how to go into it. So I'll go back to that one. What's this one?
Oh, it's got like that
I don't know.
dotted quarter. What is that?
That's one of our most difficult moments in the studio.
Yeah. Speaking of not knowing how to
yes.
get into it, that's what made me
Yes,
think
yes,
of that
yes.
one.
Yes, yes.
I hope Chris knows.
Ooh. Yeah, I know this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dotted quarter is a hint for sure.
Yeah, it's Skin. Sibrid, you're
Boom.
good at that.
Wow.
It's Skin. Tyler, it's
Very good. Very good.
Diver, it's Skin. Vertigo, it is Skin. Oh,
Tyler, you got it.
Mickey Fitz, by the way, charted this song out, guys. Did you know
Oh, I
that?
didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, he wrote out. He wrote out the drum part.
Wow.
And yeah, that's a tough drum part.
That was
Uh,
definitely like
We still got to sell that chorus to the NFL.
Still got a what?
Still
It's
have to
like
sell
it'd be
that
like a
chorus
perfect
to the
Monday Night
NFL.
Football.
Oh yeah.
It's better than their Monday Night Football song.
All right. Name this one. That should be all you need for that one. If you're fans. Oh, Vertigo Bridge, Robert Henry. Hey. If you're
Oh, hi, Robert Henry. Wait, yesterday you were Sycamore Farm, but today you're Vertigo Bridge.
Is the Vertigo Bridge on the Sycamore Farm? But anyways, name that song. What was it?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
I know that
Wait.
one.
What?
Yeah, wait, you didn't know that one, Vince?
I did
No.
know. I was just saying the chat hasn't answered it yet.
Oh yeah, the chat hasn't answered yet.
Maybe
Play it again.
Play it again.
Okay.
I know what it is.
Oh.
Oh.
That should be all you need. Yeah, hands up. Good job,
Yeah.
baby. Good job.
Oh.
Wow. Really bad at knowing your parts, Kat.
See,
The what?
What?
I'm really bad at knowing your parts.
I thought you said you're really bad at playing your parts. I'm like, oh, I thought I played it right.
to me, that's like a part where, like, that's not. I'm listening to other stuff.
What? That's like Gavin's entrance.
No, but it's like, oh yeah, it is the entrance.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, that's true.
All right.
See, well, but there's like a
here's a,
crash, right?
here's a deep cut, and actually, oh well, damn it, Nick Stevens. All right, here it comes. This is what I was gonna do, but now Nick Stevens just kind of gave a big hint, and now I'm giving a bigger hint by acknowledging his hint.
Oh God. Your face.
We're laughing so much. I don't know if it came through.
Yeah, were you able to hear that? I'll do it again. I'll get a clean pass.
I love that you're acting it out.
Well, I got to cue my boys.
Your boys.
Yeah, that is the beginning of
You
paper.
boys and girls, come on.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys want an easy one or a hard one or a medium one?
Just so the chat knows, Nick Stevens performed on Paper Earth. Nick Stevens is one very
Yes, he did.
is too, is a great leader. Great, wonderful, and I've done videos with him on YouTube. He's a great musician. He sent in an awesome remix.
Oh,
That I really, especially the ending.
Yeah.
The
It's a good
really cool.
We ate ramen with Nick Stevens. It was
Oh
tasty.
yeah.
Was I there for the ramen?
I don't know.
Were all 6 of us there?
I miss you, Nick.
Was I there?
Wait, I was thinking of the ramen that we ate with your parents, but maybe Nick, or maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Same place.
I had
Same
Okay.
place. Different time.
Okay. Here's one. I don't play in the intro.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
Oh yeah, okay, I know what that is.
What song was that?
Back when Gavin was still allowed to play the crash cymbal.
I'll thank Jeff for that.
I got it.
Right? Because that Jeff wrote that part?
We'll give 30 seconds to the chat to catch
Oh
up.
yeah, I guess you did.
Yeah. Oh, today would have been the gig in Michigan. Oh, Vertigo.
Sad.
Robert, I'll just call you by your name. Yes, you're
Go,
right. It was
Jose.
I Don't Love You Anymore.
Well, very good.
Yeah. Okay. So now here, all right. How about this? We'll do one more, and then maybe we could do. You guys could quiz me on some of the lyrics,
Sure.
and then I'll talk about my.
I didn't
my
know that was a thing.
Well, Connie just suggested it, and I really like that idea.
I mean, it is one of my favorite band games.
Yeah.
we could finish this sentence. Like we give him the first half of a line.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here's one, and it sounds a little something like this.
You know?
That is a hard one.
Is this new?
Yeah.
No,
Jeez,
it's
I
very
know.
old. Would it help if I sang it? Well, let's see if chat gets it, and then if not, I'll do it and I'll sing it.
It will definitely help if you sing it.
I don't think it will help if you sing it.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Well, let's see. No, it's not leak water.
What
What
is
is it?
that?
Is that, yeah, I know it's it's really familiar.
Yeah. No, it's not from Land Animal. It's from the first album.
It's from the first.
Oh, I know.
In that way. That's what gives it away.
Wow.
My kind of like.
That's crazy. It still doesn't sound like the groove to that song to me.
Well, wait, isn't
Well,
that it?
it's the second verse of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that groove. I want to let's bring that into a new song.
Yeah.
We could write "I Still Don't Love You Anymore" again.
Yeah, after still loving you,
Forevermore.
don't anymore.
Yeah.
After years of not love.
Oh, wait, I got one more super deep cut. Here we go.
Closer.
Yeah, that was our closer. By 9 Inch Nails.
Nice.
And then one for I believe it's you, Mickey, who keeps asking about this, but hang on, let's see if I even remember it. I think I remember that. We only played it once.
What is that?
It's not our song.
It's not mixomatosis.
That is how I remember it going. Is
I don't
that
think that's what
I
that
don't
drum
think
groove
that's what it
actually
sounds
is.
like, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like the vibe is right, but the the cycle is wrong, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so good job, friends, on naming the songs. Does anyone want to ask me any lyric questions, or Instagram questions too? I don't know if you got any Insta questions.
Oh, there's some Insta questions, but I like lyric questions.
Okay.
Anyone got it?
Lyric.
All right, I have a question.
What up?
Gavin, to
Yes.
start it off. Deep creases hide your.
Hide your face.
Ah!
Hold
Ah,
the
nicely done.
deep creases. Hide your face. Hide the grease and the taste.
Oh, very good.
Taste of fluid and lace.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I got that one.
Very
What's
good.
the next?
Huh?
What's the next line?
Deep creases, hide your face, hide the grease and the taste. Taste of fluid and lace. Taste of fluid and lace. Really hiding grease and taste. No, I don't know.
How about I give you the first word, lucid.
Mm.
Lucid falls out. No, lucid.
You got the next syllable.
Lucid
Oh,
falling.
Rhymes with face?
From
Lucid. Wait, rhymes with face and starts with F?
No, starts with G. Falling.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
falling from grace.
Ah!
Yeah.
nicely
lucid.
done.
Woo.
Woo.
I have the one actually for you, Gavin. I have the
Ooh, what
hardest
is it?
one.
Yeah.
It's really hard because we've only played this song loud. Like, I don't think we've ever like had any. Okay, can you tell me the lyrics in Bone Rage before? If you got a bone to pick with time, we've got a score to settle too.
Oh yeah.
Very- One that we actually play.
When the pieces. No. When she counted all the pieces, they didn't add up. Add up. When she counted all the pieces, they didn't add up.
This is a hard one.
Yeah.
When she counted-
I don't know it.
There's a lot of big words in the next line here.
Yeah, it's a lot of unfamiliar words.
She.
Can I give him one of them?
Yeah,
It's like a knitting. It's a knitting tool.
Yeah. And it starts with A.
What?
starts with A.
No, not
It starts with a T. The first one starts with a T, and then there's a counting
right.
tool.
Oh, yeah, abacus is in there.
There's an abacus.
Yeah.
A knitting tool that starts with T. My mother would be so disappointed in me. if I don't get
TH. The
Thimble,
yeah.
abacus,
I mean,
counting,
you need something in the middle there.
thimble of abacus, which also
A
is gonna
thimble
be-
abacus is a really interesting
Yeah,
concept.
you just got the little hole goes through the little things, and you just it's good.
You got to protect your fingers while you count, while you do math.
This is a hard line.
Yeah,
I don't know.
thimbles, thimble break abacus.
Yeah, breaks.
Thimbles breaks abacus. Thimble breaks abacus. Counting.
No,
Blow
but you
up.
No.
No.
do it.
In-
You're
What?
past the
what
hard.
does it break?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thimble breaks abacus
Into
into
Yeah.
the strata, right? Isn't it something
Kind of.
strata?
It's not
Yeah, it's
the.
strata,
It's,
but
it
there's
starts with
a-
T. It's just a little bit.
Oh, thin.
Yeah.
Strata? Okay.
Nicely
So-
done.
Nice.
Thimble breaks the abacus into thin strata.
Hell yeah.
That was a hard line.
That is a hard line. That is a hard
We haven't
line.
made it. We haven't made it to
Yeah.
the part that Ben was talking about, though.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, there's a little
Well,
bit more.
I think that the audience would probably really enjoy Gavin's Tom Waits covers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. What song should I do as old Tommy boy? Mr. Waits.
Yeah.
I feel like you had a good drive.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ah. I'm dry like a candle wick when you suck hot wax, leaving trails in your throat after matches and light me up. I'm so dry.
I'm so dry.
I'm dry.
That's what it is.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
isn't it?
dry.
Bro,
Oh.
Oh, is it still dry?
Oh.
Oh boy, I thought it was so dry.
Joe Payton wants to
So
hear
dry.
Career Boy as Tom Waits.
Oh, all right. I need to look up the lyrics for Career Boy, because I've forgotten the Career Boy lyrics.
Okay.
Career
We want the
Boy
chorus, though.
lyrics.
By the way,
Okay.
Guitar and How, you are correct on the next line to Bone Rage. Well done.
Career Boy, you know you got me working overtime. Career Boy, I got that one thing on my mind. Cheap office coffee pumping through my I forget the melody of the verse, but I could do oh, what's that other Dorian Electro song? Live by the Sword? Or, oh, Daddy like, Daddy like, Daddy like, Daddy like, Daddy like. That
Can
song.
you do, Gavin? Can you do Good Girl?
Oh, as Tom Waits?
Yeah. This is the one where you don't play anything, so you
Yeah.
should know.
Oh, I got to do it like Alice era Tom Waits. I don't know if I can get my voice that low though. So, whoa, how you grow. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. So, what's how you are. That's a good girl. Girl. Don't be silent. Don't be great minds think too much. Yo, some gonna do great minds think.
No, I do not know any of the words.
Oh,
to this.
don't be
You
a
always listen
rascal. Don't be a hassle. Great minds think too much. I dream of beauty. I dream of peace. I dream of silence. I dream of beauty. I dream of. Oh, Morrissey, I didn't know you were here. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was something.
Thank you.
Week 4 of lockdown, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is what the world has done to me.
Can we do the rehearsal version of In God We Trust?
Oh yeah, we've never shared that with the public. All right, Do you want to sing it and I'll add in the other bits? And
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
sound
Jessica
perfect?
has to do it too. It's important. Okay.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Deep creases, hide your face.
Deep. Oh, hang on. Deep,
Hi.
deep creases, hide face.
Hide the grease and the taste.
Hide the and taste.
The taste of fluid and lace.
Fluid and taste.
Lucid falling from gray. I guess that's where you're coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So found out that the delay is real.
The delay is real.
Gavin doesn't have a drum part in Birdsong, right? So
Yeah.
what would can you sing and play your ideal part if we would finally allow you to play drums?
Well,
that
if you
song?
remember, I sent in a kind of sequenced drum part for that song that ultimately and very rightly was not included, as it would have been a little too much. But I forget how it goes, so I'll just kind of. It starts with those pianos, bling. Bang, bang, looking at myself, at the reflection of the bird shit in my car. The birds. Birds. So no. What's the? Oh. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Ha ha. Looking for myself in the bullshit of my car. How dare you say what the F, WTF to me, playing this song the best that I can.
Wow,
Hey.
beautiful. I like the modification of the lyric. It kind of rolls off the tongue a little better with looking at myself through the reflection of the bird shit on my car.
It also implies that the bird shit is not actually on the car, and that the car is highly reflective. There's something around there, yeah.
I'm gonna go change into t-shirts.
A lot of people really want the Gavin versions of these songs.
They're so good.
Oh, thank you. Gavin Birdsong Remix's best version. Well, I appreciate it.
Your Patreon, Gavin. Gavin's got a Patreon. That might be a good thing. I don't know. It's your
Ooh.
Patreon.
No, that would be a
Just
fun
saying.
thing to do. Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Can you do any Nick Cave covers?
Oh, yeah. I was actually listening to some earlier. Let's see, are there brushes down here still? Or are they upstairs?
While you do that, I want to show everyone this photo of you. So I'm just
What?
going to get
You-
down.
Gavin, just so you know, I
Get
know
out of here, chair.
the song in Nick
Oh,
Cave.
as Nick Cave. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yes. Okay, let's see.
Maybe like Battle Creek.
Oh, yeah. I went down to the Battle Creek. The sheer numbers were. No, hang on. I went down to the Battle Creek to see the skeletons. I know that's not the line, but I couldn't think of the actual line, and I know
You don't
skeletons
even
was
play
perfect.
there.
I know, right? But I'm typically drinking water there, so I'm all like focused on my water.
You can only do one thing at a time.
One thing, yeah. I went down to the Battle Creek. The things I saw there were amazing.
Oh, there.
Ah. Bones never looked so real before. I believe they were there, but now I'm sure.
Oh.
I'm sure. I could do it as a Daughters tune.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I went down to the Battle Creek. That's the song, the Noise from City song. What's a Bentley song I can do as Daughters?
Probably Love Me Not.
Oh yeah. Okay. And I'll okay, yeah. Oh yeah, but I don't know the words. You shit. No, oh my god, I completely forget the
You don't know
word.
the words to the chorus of this song?
No, I don't know the I don't know. Why would I know the word? Oh, well, the chorus I know, but
Oh, okay.
you know, you love me. My Daughters isn't coming through.
It was good. Thomas asks if there's a remix tonight. So yeah, there is.
Oh yeah, no, there
Eventually.
There is. Yeah, we should actually probably get to that and then maybe do a few Instagram questions and then finish it out.
Sounds good.
And then this is for Rocket Diver.
Great.
That was for you. All right, so my remix of the night. First off, I want to talk about just a tiny talk about my runner-up this evening. And you know him, you love him. It's Captain Wet Math. Well, just Wet Math. There's no Captain. With his other remix, which the title of it was real good, and it is Blame Them If It's What You Want. And that song, that remix was really, really great. The way that you, it's built in such a way that it's like, it's amazing because it really has our stamp on it, but it's also not something that I think that we would write, which obviously that's the nature of a remix, but it's really cool. And it's just, I bought my head along to it. I listen to it when I drink my coffee, along with my winning remix, which goes to, drum roll, please. It goes to Matt Hart for his Being Human remix.
Yeah.
It's real good. Thank you, Matt Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
What
Yeah.
you did to Being Human is really great. It to me sounds a little like Talking Headsy, and I love Talking Heads. And it's not. Yeah, it's a super groovin' remix of a song that I have heard approximately 7 million times, and it breathed, new life into it for me. Not that I ever felt the song didn't have life, but when you hear a song as many times as that, it's you think you know how it goes. So let me see if I can get my audio to play.
I can play it from here if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've got it down at this point.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby.
All right. Here we go.
Do it to it. That part is so good.
Yeah.
Well done. That was really good. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for that. And now, much in accordance with what we did that one day, I'm going to go through as many Instagram questions as I can to finish us out. Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
yeah.
All right. James Deneen asks, but seriously, when do we get another taste of Mr. Gavin's Meat Farm? Hopefully very soon. You know, quarantine is a good time to do things. How would you survive in a world without King Crimson and or Cardiacs? Would I have, if I had prior knowledge that they existed, it would be very strange just because the concept of things that I enjoy could just disappear from the face of the earth very quickly is spooky. But if I never knew about
It's like
them.
that Beatles movie.
Exactly. Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger. I haven't played either of them.
But
Yeah,
the,
I know.
The remake of 7 is out today.
Oh, is that today? It's supposed to be so
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I mean, it's.
Have you been? Well, I have a question for you, Gavin.
Was that?
Have you been playing Civ?
No, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
Good to
I
have
keep
it.
looking at it. You know, it's on my phone, Civilization 6, and I went. You know, well, Vince was the one who got me into it because he would play it a hell of a lot on tour, and then I kind of got into it in a big way. And then yeah, I haven't really played it since that tour. I'm sure it'll happen again, though. I love that game. Play any other instrument? Guitar, bass, tiny bit of keyboard. Starfish Roger asks, how do you keep it so springy and light, my guy? You know, I just do, baby. What do you struggle to play on the drum? Technique you're working on at the moment? I am a notoriously not great jazz drummer, and I say notoriously, but that's just like me. It's notorious to me that I'm not great at like jazz or really intense kind of Latin music, like you know, like even that was sloppy, and that's like Latin 101, right? And my swing, you know. You know, it's not. I mean, that wasn't the best example of me trying to do a swing, but it's in the ballpark. What was your criteria for judging the mixes? It was more like my criteria was that it wasn't a disrespectful diss track that was sent in by someone who I thought was my friend. No, I love you, Joe. It was just what I thought like sounded best and what I thought took the song in from an interesting angle and kind of took it to a new level, you know, or like in the case of that my runner-up, the Wet Math one, there was stuff from a whole bunch of or a couple of different songs in there that like it just elevated kind of elevate it. It took the source material in a different way that, like, to me, like both of my runner-up and my winner, and as well as a bunch of the others, are things that I would enjoy listening to in my normal day-to-day. So, like, that's my judging. Someone asks what, and favorite Lynch film. Oh, Addie asks favorite Lynch film and why. P.S. Hope you are well. Thank you. I hope you're well too. My favorite Lynch film is most likely Blue Velvet, though I've seen Dune more than anyone ever should.
I'll tell him how many times.
Gavin.
It's double digits now, probably in the 30s, because I feel like I've watched it a few more times since it's just such a you put it on and then you do what you're doing, you do dishes, you make dinner, you do whatever you're doing, it's just on in the background.
How many times have you watched The Godfather?
Oh, 0, unfortunately. Pete asks, how was your day? It's pretty good. I've been looking forward to this. Favorite symbol? Riot symbols or China symbols? What do you listen closer in on when you're hearing music you haven't heard before? When it's something that I haven't heard before, I very much try to not like zone in on one thing intentionally. You know what I mean? I want the experience of the song as if I wasn't, someone who, has a relative knowledge of how songs work. I just want to feel it, as it should be felt. Chapman Stick and Dune. Yeah, there is a Chapman Stick and Dune. Very correct. Patrick Stewart doesn't play it. What drum do I like hitting the most? I'm a tom guy. What's your approach to making odd time signatures more musical as possible? I like to put like kind of a constant backbeat, and I can't think of any specific. Do you guys know of any instances in the band where I'm playing in 4 and everyone else isn't? Oh,
Can you
like Leak Water.
Ghosts verse?
Say it again.
Holy Ghost verse?
Yeah.
In 5?
Oh yeah, because that's in 5, and I've got like the kick pattern in that is in 5, right? It's 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. And I'm just putting a 2 and 4, like 4/4, backbeat, like you'd hear in like, any basic rock song that's in 4/4. So I've got that 4 and that 5 going. So it turns into 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. 1. But the snare, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. So I putting a familiar, and this is, I'm kind of paraphrasing Bill Bruford with this way of explaining it, but putting a relatable, danceable backbeat over something that isn't necessarily what we think of as danceable. It provides a touchstone for people who may not listen to a lot of like, or who may not like resonate with odd time signatures or something, and it gives a base that tension can happen against. All right, what happened to the mystery ring in your Instagram story where you fed your dog some celery? That was a plastic ring from like an olive oil bottle or something that fell, and I have since picked it up and recycled it. Use E-drums. Thoughts on Yamaha stuff? I haven't played any of the Yamaha stuff. I use an SPD SX, and it's real good. Joe asks, do Chapo Chip Pangus do Nana Flip, or would you say Odd Time Rebel Weasel Flip? Look, you can keep your Pangus for all I care, but I mean the Choco Chip ones are okay, but I mean you gotta the Rebel Weasel Flip. It can't necessarily coagulate with a Nana Flipperoo, as it were. What's your favorite random sample used on the Well Live? That's a question for Vince first, and then I will answer that too. Vince, what's your favorite sample that you've ever done in the middle of the well?
My favorite's when I just play I play the recording of The Well.
Yeah, but wasn't it in a different key?
Yeah, in a different key.
Yeah, it was in
Yeah.
a different key. That was great.
And no one knew it. No one knew it was coming either.
Yeah, that was.
Okay.
I like that.
That one
I
was
feel
a
this. I
favorite.
feel like this needs a little bit of explanation for people who maybe haven't seen us live or.
Oh yeah, that's a
don't know
good
what we're
idea.
talking
It's a good
about.
point.
Yeah, in the well, the little sample, the I'm gonna lay back down on the record. It's just a different random sample every night. So yeah, and I never tell anyone what it's gonna be. So it's just I really I could get trollier with it. I probably should.
Oh yeah, you ought to put Plant Man.
What?
Plant Man? Oh yeah.
Plant Man?
Yeah.
Anyone remember Plant Man? No.
I think me and you. I think you only showed that to me, guys.
Oh really? Did I not show that to
Yeah,
everybody?
like we had a little conspiracy going. No.
Oh, that's right, and that never happened. Yeah,
Well, they'll forget about it, and then we'll whip it out in the distance.
Yeah. that song has
I'm writing Plant
some
Man
good drumming
down.
on it. And then let's see. There was another one. How does it feel to be the world's strongest man's and most attractive billionaire? Well, pretty damn good. Pretty damn good.
Oh.
So, how are you guys doing the rest of band?
That was
Yeah,
great
good.
fun.
Yeah.
What? Anything else we should do in these last few minutes?
Wait, there was. I don't know if this is too long, but someone asked a question about Berkeley.
Oh yeah.
And I told them I would throw it in when we had a chance.
Okay. Yeah.
They were saying, let me see if I can, something about they're thinking about auditioning after high school.
Mhm.
What's the thought, like what's the Berkeley thought? I feel like we get that one a lot. So maybe a quick answer from all around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd say if music is an important enough, or well, important is the wrong word, but if it's where you want to place all of your kind of energies, and not to get all, I am in California, but not to get all, California. If you want to put all your energies kind of towards the cultivation of yourself as a musician, or be in a place where you can do that, well, obviously you can do that anywhere. I'm kind of stumbling over this. I had a great time at Berkeley, and I loved it, and I'm very happy that I went. I have friends who went for a semester or a year and found out that it's that kind of thing isn't for them, and they're doing other things now. Like one of my friends is like a nuclear technician in the Navy now, because he got into that, and another friend of mine dropped after the first year and went into archaeology. So I would say allow yourself to do it if it's what you want, but also don't be afraid to stop doing it if you feel like it is destroying you once you get there, and if you realize it's not for you.
Yeah. I think Berkeley is one of the most effective strategies for having a successful music career, because essentially the future of the industry is going to be a graduating class. I mean, at least that's been the case for us, where now that we're in our 30s approximately, I'm just looking around, and like all the people I know who really wanted to like keep doing it and were able to keep doing it seem to be doing something really cool. Like there's a lot of successful teachers, there's a lot of successful producers, some successful bands, although a lot of people want to do bands and then realize it's not as fun as what they wanted. And these days there's other things you can do besides a band to make original music. But yeah, like just as an example, like, you know, Adam Neely was the same year as us, and the keyboardist for Imagine Dragons was the same year as us, and we were all the same. Like, when I say year, I mean like 4 years. You know what I mean? Like, we're all in school at the same time.
Charlie
all
Puth
of us
was
were in
there.
time. What'd you say?
Charlie Puth was there when we were there. Yeah,
Wow.
I saw him do stand up in the TV lounge at one of
I thought he
Randy's.
looked-
Oh yeah, no, he lived in 150. He was a little younger than us, but he was there. Yeah.
That's wild.
An attractive dude. And then yeah, like anyway, long story short, that's one thing you get from there. But honestly, I think like the best reason to go is to learn a lot of stuff, not necessarily to make your career. And it's a really difficult financial decision, and you might want to weigh like your like, you know, if you want to be I don't know, it's tricky because the financial burden can sometimes kind of slow people down in their careers afterwards. So I think like the best motivation is to learn a bunch of stuff, but you could do that anywhere. It's tricky. I liked it, but I'm lucky I could do it.
Yeah, I feel very much the same. I think the things that you get out of Berkeley are certainly the network, and the education is fantastic too. But it's crazy expensive, and there's a lot of alternative ways to get a great music education, especially if you're driven and know your way around the internet. And I think if you're able to establish a music community that is also really driven, and you guys are willing to push each other, I think that's an excellent alternative to Berkeley. But the thing for me is that the fact that I went to that school means that I would say 90% of the people that I work with right now, the connection has something to do with going to that school. And the most important people I make music with in my life, who you see in front of you, we all met there. And so that's the kind of the clincher, is it's just such a great way to experiment and find both the music that you want to make and the people you want to make music with.
I do want to add on to that we know like quite a few great musicians who are really close friends and collaborators who didn't go to Berkeley and who just went to a different school in Boston or just lived in Boston and hung out around Berkeley and, you know, interweaved themselves into the same community that we have. And they're, you know, I think they're just as good or better musicians than the ones I know from Berkeley, and very driven as well. So I think there's like lots of ways to do it, and you don't have to like go there to have all those things, but it makes it easier but harder financially.
Yeah, if like just a practical level, if you think it's gonna financially ruin you, you don't have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you don't go to Berkeley, I think you probably, if you don't go to music school, you probably, I mean, I know from many students I have, they wonder what would have happened if I did.
Yeah.
And that's maybe the wrong question. It's more like, wherever you're at, what does music do for you? What do you want to do with music, and who else wants to do that? And you find those people. If they're not around, you gotta go look for them.
Yeah, I would argue that like of all the music that we all listen to and love, there's like more musicians and artists that didn't. I'm trying to appear on the screen, but I can't appear anymore.
Zoom has such a hard time with two people.
It really hates me today. but I was gonna say there's more people that you're listening to that didn't go to Berkeley than did go to Berkeley, and it's just really expensive, and it will fast track you in some ways, but it will also slow you down in others, that you might realize like after you like leave Berkeley. And like I think it's not like going to Berkeley is one path, but it's not the better path. And basically, if you are doing anything for an extended period of time, you get better. So it doesn't have to, like, doing music doesn't have to mean Berkeley. Like, you can do music and you can practice and you can like meet people and like do things and get better at music or songwriting or being a guitar player or whatever without Berkeley being there. So I think it's like it's an important thing to weigh. And maybe like, I feel like there were people at Berkeley who were like specifically there for like 2 semesters. They were like, I'm gonna do a year, or I'm gonna do like 3 semesters or stuff like that. And I don't think that's like necessarily a bad way to think about it either. Like, you could transfer in and just do a couple semesters and just have like a really dedicated notion of like, I'm here to network and meet people. And you could kind of like use it as a platform to, again, tap into the power of the community, but without bankrupting yourself too. So.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of funny that it's almost a little like ridiculous that sort of like 16 and 17 and 18-year-olds are asked to make this decision, which is arguably the largest financial decision of their lives, when they're totally not equipped to make a decision like that. Like, it's like hard to buy a car when you're 30. Like, that's a stressful, difficult decision.
Yeah.
And that's a tiny little blip compared to like, deciding you're gonna pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to college. So yeah, it's difficult to know like what's right for any one person without knowing them, knowing their situation. So yeah, all I can really talk about is my own experience at Berkeley, which is largely really positive. I mean, I don't know if you're going for the production engineering path, but they have a really solid production engineering program. I think it's definitely a great place to learn that. But like, I think the key thing really with any, like, if you're serious about going into music, the real absolute key is, it's like a little sad to say, I guess. Well, at least as an introvert, it pains me to say, but like your social network and the networking really is like what will determine ultimately your results. Like that's the most important thing. Like, even sadly more so than talent. Like, talent is ultimately what just gets you in the door. Like, if you want to have a successful career, it's going to be about the people no matter how brilliant you are. So whatever you do, whether you go to Berkeley or you don't go to Berkeley, if you're serious about doing music, you just need to find a way to get yourself into a community where you're surrounded by the most talented musicians you possibly can be. That's really the key.
Wait, I want to count. I think Vince has a great point, but I also want to add that I don't think the only way you can succeed in music is through being able to pay your rent through music. And I think it's really important to cultivate really early just that you are playing your instrument and loving it, I've definitely rediscovered or like had to learn that maybe for the first time recently in my life, of just like creating just for the process, or Ben talks about this, about like sitting in front of your piano in the morning and playing a note and like just being amazed at how wonderful that is. And I think it's like a tough way to make a living because it feels like a gamble and the industry is in flux and there's no large body that will advocate for you. Like, I guess if you're like in session work or if you're in classical, it might be a little bit different. But as like an indie rock and roll sort of genre, there's no body that's like advocating for you. So it's really tough. So I think an important thing to cultivate is just like on a base level enjoying what you do, because if you're looking for success, and if you don't have that really well defined, or if it's like something that's really like difficult to attain, like getting #1 in the top 40, I mean, that's actually a good goal because then you can take steps. But if you're talking about success as like rich and famous, playing big shows, like selling out of albums, like those are really vague, and I don't think those goals are ever going to bring you happiness.
I would like to. I think that's a good point. But I'd like to add an important addendum onto my thing, which is I was talking about career success too, but I was also talking about just musical success. Like to make the best music that you possibly can, you need to be surrounded by really good musicians.
Yeah.
Like the idea of sort of the bedroom warrior who's just, they exist, but they're really exceptions. Like if you want to give yourself the best chance you can, seriously, to make the best possible music you can and be the best musician you can, you need to be surrounded by great musicians.
Yeah.
Hashtag COVID-19.
Yes. No, we're surrounded by no one.
Oh no.
I also just wanted to add that I think as like a society, you hear like whenever someone is interested in any parts of the arts, I feel like parents get really nervous, and like everyone, you hear the kind of the same things, like how are you going to make money? How do you make a career out of that? And I'd like to just point out, I like this argument a lot, that right now, especially right now, every job is in flux, and it's not like you can get a safe job anymore because we don't know what the future holds for the world. And so you might as well do something you love. And I feel like that notion has made me feel a lot more secure, and like those voices of, but how are you going to make a career out of this, shrink a lot down, because that isn't necessarily the most important thing for a parent to be thinking about for their kids.
One more time for the people in the back.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, the thing that Courtney said about what success is with music, I just want to talk from personal experience about what has been, because I both went to Berkeley, have a big musical network, and taught many people who did not go to Berkeley or do not have a big musical network, or worked with a bunch of people. And it's my opinion at this point, and it could be something I change my mind on, but right now I think the happiness you derive from music does not correlate with how much you are allotted for it, / how much you like how much you accomplish with it. The joy that you derive from music is from recognizing the most basic fundamental elements of it as like the most precious thing. Like the more you can need less from it, the more it'll give you. And like what Courtney was saying with just playing one note, if you can appreciate that note, and it takes active work to appreciate something so simple. If you can appreciate like the way the note feels on your finger, like to press the key, and the sound and the way it feels to like kind of fill your mind with a sound, all the different ways to hear a sound, like imagine the sound really loud in your head even when you hear it soft, or like listen to the sound as if you're listening from over there in the room, just meditating on the sound. That has done more for my happiness than playing big shows or getting lots of YouTube comments. It's self-reliance, and I think no matter what you do, relying on yourself for your satisfaction as much as possible is a very nice thing to explore.
Yeah. It's like the
Hell
whole
yeah.
secret to life is paying attention,
Yeah.
really regarding anything. And
Yeah.
this is such a great opportunity to do that right now.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
Or
great
to strip and reseason.
what was that?
Say
Oh, I
that
was
again.
gonna say, or to strip and reseason your cast iron pans.
Yeah,
The really
with
great
attention to detail.
in the movie Lady Bird, where a nun is talking to the main character Lady Bird about how she like thinks she hates the town that she lives in, Sacramento, and the nun who is her teacher has been reading her college essays and says, it seems like you really love Sacramento, and the main character goes like, huh, well, I pay attention. And the nun goes, isn't that the same thing? Love and paying attention.
Boom.
Mm.
Which is a lot like what Chris just said, which is cool. We all
Yeah.
We all meld. Well, my friends, I at least have to get running because my brother has to jump on and teach a lesson.
No,
But sorry, I didn't mean to cut this short.
no,
You didn't.
Sorry,
We've gone way too long.
I threw in a really long, really hard question at the very end. So I'm sorry, little Ben, for that is Gavin's younger brother.
Yeah, my brother's name is also Ben.
that's me.
Yup.
We'll see you
All right, same time tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Who's
Is that
hosting
what's
tomorrow?
happening?
Me.
Ooh.
Okay.
Great
I
host.
also have a favor. On Sunday, which is Easter, I'm gonna have a Zoom dinner with my whole extended family at 5 Eastern. So I'm hoping we can stream at 8, but we'll talk about it.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'll be smoking a turkey that day.
You know, I was gonna say,
I stopped at smoking.
So 8 is well. We can talk about this off camera. We don't need to let all these people in on our.
Okay. Bye,
Maybe-
everyone.
All right.
Thanks for tuning
All right,
in.
peace and love. I'm
Great.
stopping the live stream.
Yeah,
You guys are gonna miss all the juicy bits in just a second.